So the plot of Spider-Man Homecoming is that Peter Parker wants to go to the big dance, but he doesn't know how to dance. So what does he do? He asks Iron Man to teach him how to dance and asks that girl out. So Iron Man teaches him how to dance. Aunt May teaches him how to be nice to the ladies, and then gives Peter Parker the strength to become Spider-Man and ask that lucky gal out to the dance. The end. Okay, that's not what happened. Hey, how's it going? For today's cinema review, I'm going to be reviewing Spider-Man Homecoming. And this is the non-spoiler version. Yeah, I saw the movie last night, and it was, of course, as expected, enjoyable. Marvel does have a way with their movies of making their movies fun. The movie starts off right after the aliens had attacked the city and the Avengers saved the day. So Michael Keaton's character, Adrian Toomes, has a company that is supposed to clean up and make money from the devastation cleanup. But of course they get bombarded by the government and they lose out on money for it. The movie is great. Tom Holland does a fantastic job as Spider-Man. If you like the type of Spider-Man that's all about looking in the world of superheroes through the eyes of a child, he brings out the whimsy of Spider-Man. And as I understand, that's the current version of Spider-Man in the comics, where he's young enough to experience everything with such wonderment. I myself, I'm kind of used to slightly older Spider-Man, but it's a new era. I can't complain against that. There are side characters, like his best friend, Ned. I don't really know who Ned is from the comics. I know of Harry Osborn. I know other characters that are in the movie, like Flash Thompson and Liz Allen, and it's the first time we've seen Liz Allen in a film, so that was great. I really don't know who Ned is. He's kind of funny as like the dorkish friend, but he's also kind of annoying too. Without getting too much into it, you do get quite a bit of Tony Stark, but he's not too much in your face about it. You don't see too much Iron Man. It's just more of a side mentor. You get plenty of Happy Hogan, Iron Man's assistant, who is actually also supposed to kind of monitor the actions of Spider-Man. His purpose in the movie is to take care of New York City itself. Just take care of the smaller crimes. Of course, it's a little kind of difficult when the bigger villains start coming his way. Villains in this movie, you have Michael Keaton as the Vulture, and you also have two versions of the Shocker. And I won't go too far into who else shows up in the movie, but I will say that Michael Keaton, he's Michael Keaton. You can't really say anything bad about him. Even when he's like in his most serious, he's really entertaining. Now you also have Aunt May, who he just refers to as May, played by Marissa Tomei. I'm a fan of hers ever since My Cousin Vinny. She's a great actress. Between Spider-Man and Aunt May, they keep getting younger and younger, but I'm glad they went with Marissa Tomei. This movie is not an origins story. There's no showing of how he got his powers. There's no Uncle Ben in it. And that's kind of a relief, because after the last two versions of Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, we've seen Uncle Ben die, and in this time, I think we know the story enough where it didn't have to be shoved in our faces. I thought it was kind of cool that the high school, is actually the same high school that was in my old neighborhood where we filmed some of the Anthonyx Maximus episodes. The mobster, James Gotti, went to that same high school. Fun fact, the main love interest is Liz Allen. She's kind of been one of Spider-Man's love interests, but not too long as far as comics go. In this movie, she's kind of like a convenience plot device. You'll know more what I mean by that in the spoiler version, or see the movie for yourself. Flash Thompson in this movie. Now, this is where I had a problem with him. Flash Thompson is a bully in a way, like he's a jock, he's, an asshole. But in this movie, he's still an asshole, but as in a spoiled asshole. this scrawny little punk kid that just looks for ways of insulting Peter Parker, which is weird because in the movie he's not even dumb, he's almost the same intelligence as Peter Parker. There's really no reason he should be making fun of Peter Parker. No offense to the actor who plays Flash Thompson. It's not his fault he was given the script and direction that he was told, because he's not a bad actor. He's just not what I imagine Flash Thompson to be. And I feel bad for the kid because online people are bullying the bully. And he's being an actor. He's not being himself, but he's not what I expect Flash Thompson to be. Flash Thompson in the comics eventually becomes Venom. In fact, he's known as Agent Venom. He only uses the suit to go on missions. So, yeah, I don't see this kid becoming Agent Venom someday. The movie, like I said, it's fun. It has many ongoing paces, and Tom Holland brings joy to the role of Spider-Man. It's like experiencing your typical Marvel Avengers movie through the eyes of a kid. And that's endearing. The movie goes from Queens to Washington, D.C., back to the Staten Island Ferry, and eventually Homecoming. And you do get him showing his point of view of the events of Captain America Civil War when he was in the movie briefly, fighting alongside the other heroes. It's just kind of an enjoyment through his eyes. It's kind of hard to grade this one because people are making this movie seem like the greatest superhero movie of the year. It's really not. I still stand by Wonder Woman being fantastic. This one, it's not even the best Spider-Man movie, but it's up there. It's actually a very good movie. It's just, it has the same thing that all the Marvel movies have. It's formulaic. I'm not sure if that's a critique. That just might be an observation, because I haven't decided if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, it's worked for the other movies, it worked for this movie, so, don't change that, I guess. But it's kind of the same thing. You get the comedic hero who is overly optimistic, throw in some background rock music, especially from the 80s, and you throw in the bad guys that are serious but kind of forgettable. And that is your Marvel movie right there. Now, again, I'm not gonna say it's a forgettable villain in this case, because I will say Marvel villains, they're starting to become more interesting. For a while they've been really boring, but I think starting with the new current phase of the Avengers movies, Marvel movies, I think we're like in phase 3 right now. From the villain of Doctor Strange to the villain of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 to the Vulture in this movie, the villains are starting to become more interesting. And Michael Keaton hasn't lost his touch. It is funny, Michael Keaton, he started off Batman, then he went on to Birdman, now he's Vulture. Any kind of flying creature, huh? I'm gonna give this movie a B+. Only because it's a fantastic movie, but they've made some changes that I don't really like, and I don't think many people like either. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of it is because of the current comics, but even the current comics are kind of getting baffling right now. I don't like Spider-Man to be that young. He's not even a man anymore. He's Spider-Boy. Vulture as the character, not the actor, but as the character, is completely wrong. He's like the fight for the little guy against the rich guy kind of villain. And Vulture in the comics is not like that. In fact, Vulture in the comics, Adrian Toomes, is actually rich himself. His whole gimmick was wanting to be young because he was an old man. He came across a tablet that gave him the power to touch younger people, make them old, and make him young. That was the whole idea of the Vulture. This movie abandons that. So, taking away the uniqueness of Vulture and making him no different than any other Spider-Man villain, just some guy that has his hands on great technology and goes haywire. There's not much more I can say. It's kind of the same thing. So I'm gonna give it a B plus just because I was enjoyed by the movie itself. So stick around for the spoiler version coming up if you've seen the movie, or if you want to be spoiled before the movie, be my guest. I will say this: if you haven't seen the movie yet and you do plan to, there are 2 post-credit scenes. Well, mid-credits and a post-credits. So you will need to stick around for the whole entire movie. The post-credits at the very end is hilarious and it's very relevant. So you'll enjoy it. Anyways, have a good one.